Hello, welcome back to another episode of Industry Insights. I'm Varin Senthil, and today we have Ken Royce with us. So, is it fine if you could tell us what you're doing?
Sure. My name is Ken Royce, and I work for a company called Infor. Infor is about $4 billion in revenue. We're the third largest ERP software as a service cloud provider. So we compete with Oracle, SAP, Microsoft. We're actually the conglomeration of 30 different ERP packages, enterprise resource planning. So it's really the financials, the manufacturing, the HR, the operations, supply chain, all those things to run businesses. Our sweet spot is between companies with 500 million and $2 billion of revenue. I lead the automotive team, and as well, they just gave me the aerospace and defense teams. So my job is to figure out what do our customers need? What are the customers that we want to, their prospects we want to convert to customers? What do they need? And how do I differentiate our value versus our competition? How do I prove business value? How do I make their how do I help companies? And really, the biggest thing right now is the market dynamics are changing so quickly. It's really about helping customers be more agile, and meaning if they want to pivot and go from a gas engine to an EV engine and change the direction of how they manufacture product, how they go to market, how they provide service, how they work with their supply chain, helping them do that and leverage as much automation, AI, machine learning, and really help make their life easier and help them go faster with whatever business objectives they're reaching out to attain. If that makes sense.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, and thank you. So, my first question is, out of all the jobs you've held, which one has been your favorite so far?
Mm. Well, I was the CIO a while back, and I had four promotions with a really disorganized company. It was financial services, but I was, and I guess the point is sometimes you'll work at a place that isn't that good, but even in a bad environment or a bad manager or a bad situation, there's some of the greatest opportunities for career growth and personal growth that you'll ever have. So, just to keep that in mind, if you get into a situation that makes you unfulfilled, I wouldn't say unhappy, but unfulfilled, there's always an opportunity in there for you to pick up a new skill, for you to build your network, for you to learn something about business, and really business, and I'm going to call it domain expertise. Domain expertise is huge for technology, because there's a lot of technical people out there, but most of the technical people don't really understand what the business is trying to achieve. If you can marry those up and align them, you're going to be really able to add a lot more value, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to accomplish your goals. So I had a job 1993 through 97 where I got four promotions. I was published a bunch by IBM, and some of the computer magazine, Computer Week, Computer World, for just really innovating around stuff, because I understood the business, and I understood the tech, and how it could leverage automation to help us do more with less employees, more automation. If you know what IVR is, that's where you have the voice response, where it's a computer that's processing transactions versus a human. So I helped us bridge that gap and migrate us to a more automated environment, and really had a lot of really great personal development. So that was probably my funnest job. But the job I'm in now is actually very similar. It's a great opportunity, but our leadership really, because we're the combination and consolidation of over 300 companies in 40 years. So we still have that. The good news is we have great solutions. The bad news is we still kind of operate as individual companies, and it just makes it harder to achieve things that should be basic, but they're not for us right now. We bought by a company called Koch Industries, 141 billion, one of the second largest privately held company in the world. And so they're going to take us and force us to evolve and mature and be more efficient and be more profitable for them, because at the end of the day, they're our investor, and they control how we go to market and do things.
Okay, thank you for the explanation. That was very helpful. And now on to my second question is, um, how do you get to the profession you're at currently?
Um, my friends, my college friends, I was a political science graduate. I was going to law school and I was going to be the next governor of California. And I got into the politics and it was political. And I didn't want to stand around and make $6 an hour at the time. So one of my friends offered me an opportunity at a company called Cost Plus in their IT department. So I started off working with mainframe computers and figuring out how to run all the computer. It was processing reports, helping to capture and track sales and inventory and order management and those sorts of things. So I got my first break in IT in 1991, and from there, I just continued to take on new responsibilities and learn new skills, techniques, technologies, build my network. And then I went from the business side of the house to the consulting side where you're selling services into businesses, if that makes sense. And in the last 20 years, I've also done a couple startups that I've launched myself. I've been part of a couple startups. And so it's been a journey. I've kind of the good thing for me is I've done CMO, I've done COO, I've done CIO, I've done CTO, I've done CRO. So I've done all the jobs, and that gives me a background and a flexibility that I can really take on anything because my roles changed 3 times in 2 years so far here at Infor. And but I have the background to really evolve and pivot in any direction where my company needs me to.
Okay, that was a very long journey, but I'm glad you're able to find something you enjoy now.
Yep.
A question I do have about your current job is what do you enjoy about it? Like what aspect do you enjoy performing?
Innovation, creating. I mean, right now, I actually with your father and some other of his colleagues in the sustainability team at AWS, we've built a model around sustainability of capturing the carbon footprint when you're manufacturing a car body for an EV vehicle. There's 47 processes. There's 38 different raw materials that go into creating the chassis. So we're tracking that and demonstrating or simulating if you changed your supply chain, what would that do to the carbon footprint? So if you're in Detroit and you're getting parts from Toronto, it's not that much of a journey, right? But if you're getting parts from China, then that's a lot more carbon footprint that is being emitted in the whole transportation process. So I've built an application around tracking that. I've also built one around the EV battery, the circular economy. What do we do with these batteries for all these EVs that are required, right? So you got to capture who manufactured it, what OEM, GM, Ford, Stellantis, VW, BMW, that it's going to. Then when they sell it, there's a battery service provider, and they're tracking the juice in the battery, if you will. So it helps people understand. Okay, I just bought a 3-year-old used Tesla. How much juice is in it, right? Because that has a direct impact on the price, and also on the back end of EV batteries. At some point, you have to dispose of these, and that's a huge hazardous waste. It's a huge financial. It's a huge legal. It's big liabilities on the balance sheet. Nobody wants these. So helping people understand where they're at in that life cycle so they can make the right business decisions.
Okay. Thank you for that once again.
Mhm.
I'm also very glad that you're able to find something you enjoy. And personally, I do find how interesting your job is. So, another question I have is, what's one lesson you've learned over your career?
I've learned 1,000 lessons. And that's the other thing. You learn by your mistakes, right? And I've always been very aggressive in trying new things and trying things that are outside my skill set, comfort zone. I'll tell you what. What would I tell you? Loyalty. Loyalty to your direct is something that is underestimated and often. And I didn't really understand it. But had I been more loyal, my number of jobs and experiences would have been easier. had I understood loyalty to your direct manager and the managers above you and stuff. So I would say that's something to understand, and I think your father would agree with me.
Okay. Can you explain more on like how important loyalty is?
Well, yeah, because at the end of the day, as a manager, what is your job? Your job is to make sure people are doing the activities and have the right priorities and have the right skills and have the right resources to to accomplish a given task, which your job is tied to, right? So, um, if you want to be a successful employee and if you want to continue to grow your career, you need to be successful at each step of that, right? And if you are taking care of your boss and making your boss look that he's on top of things and keep him well informed and always think, try and adopt whatever is important for them, and you integrate that into the way you approach challenges, solutions, um, you're going to have a lot more success. And the other thing is you really don't want your boss making decisions for you. So if you're in a challenging situation, you're always better off to go to your boss with, here's my options and here's my opinion. And then you extract feedback coming back from that so that you're not coming and say, here's my problem, go figure it out for me, right? Because that's weak and that's not progress, right? It's just I've got a problem, I don't even know what to do. And so doing that helps build the bond between you and your manager.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for the explanation.
Mhm.
I just want to be more clear on that. So another question I have is, would you do it any differently? Like your path to get to where you are now?
No, I think because the answer is it's been choppy, but the diversity of activities and skills and networks and relationships that I've built because of the journey, it's been a windy road, but I picked something up every step on the journey, right? So, um, I could it be easier? I don't know. In modern day corporate America, that easy is even an option anymore, just because of the pace of change and the competition and the real push down from Wall Street and really how much Wall Street controls things, right? Most companies are quarterly driven, which just creates pressure, and you don't have the freedom to really go out and develop things and come up with ideas and brainstorm because there's so much pressure just to accomplish day to day. So um, that's what I've learned on the journey, and I like I said, I'm thankful and grateful for all that I've learned and all the people that I've met, and what it's come, and it's not been easy, but I don't know that easy's out there.
Okay. Well, I'm glad what you are you're happy with where you are right now and you're satisfied with the journey you went on. And I'm on my final question right now
Mm-hmm.
because of your amazing explanations, which made me which made me understand your job better. So thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
My final question's a little weird and a little bit hard to answer. So you can take your time. What's one question you wish I asked you, and how would you have answered?
Um, well, what I do a lot of mentoring. I have two sons that are a little bit older than you. I've got a lot of people at work that I coach on a daily basis. I've spent 6 years and about 10,000 hours doing an advanced studies program called the Global Information Network. And of each, there's 6 phases, and each one's 2,000 hours. And it's really kind of an advanced MBA type of a thing. I have a lot to give. I love to help people. I actually, when I help somebody, I get more out of it than they do, and they're getting a lot out of it, right? So I would like to know what Varin Senthil wants to accomplish, where you're going on your journey, and maybe I can give you some ideas of how to get there in a more efficient and an easier way. So that's that's probably, yeah. I would love to help you. I live to help people. That's what really excites me.
Okay, well, thank you. For me, I just want to go somewhere in the medical field to do some medical research. I think I have a pretty solid plan on how to do it, but thank you for the offer. It really does mean a lot. And yeah, thank you for also being on this podcast. It did help me a lot because now I get to understand more about other people's lives.
I got one
And
question for you.
yeah,
Why do you want to do medical? Is
so
it is it because if the answer is for money, that's the wrong answer.
well, I'm kind of glad it isn't for money. So I've just been interested in how people react and how we could further our research and get better ways to cure people. Like there are
Hmm.
some cancers which we can't even detect until it's too late, or like after COVID, it took us like about 1 to 2 years to actually make a cure or like a vaccine for it. And I was just wondering if we could make that process even faster. So essentially, it's just to satiate my curiosity.
Yeah, all right, that's a good answer. And the answer is Kriya Yoga will teach you all of that because we have the abilities within our body to heal ourselves, right?
Hmm.
If we allow ourselves to think that.
Okay.
So yeah, but good for you. And I wish you the very best. And if I can ever answer any questions, your father's got my email address. Happy to help you wherever I could. And best of luck to you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You
And
too,
also,
Varin.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
being on this podcast once again. It does mean a lot.
Sure, my pleasure.
Okay. Have a great day. Bye.